catching deep smallmouth, which I talked about. I took some of these pictures offline, kind of cheated a little bit. But I talked about in the last seminars is catching summertime fish. The thing with fishing, in the summertime is there's not as many ways to get to the fish. Those fish are in depths. Once fish for the most part get past 20 foot, there's really not many techniques, in the scheme of things to get down to them. You're not going to have sure, a deep diving crankbait will get to 20 foot, but they get to that 30, and beyond, then you only have so many ways that are going to be effective, and it's going to be some sort of bottom bait, particularly with smallmouth. Anything like the tubes here, the coffee tube, goby imitators, that's primarily what you're looking for when you're fishing this deep isolated structure. The drop shot, this is just kind of just a little overview of what a drop shot rig looks like. Everyone's fairly familiar with it. Weight on the bottom with the hook tied above it. And one thing you want to make note of when I am fishing a drop shot in deep water, you want to be sure, and if you think about it, it's kind of one of those deals where you got to think deeper about how the bait looks in the water. Okay, you want your bait to be, as stick straight, as straight out from the line as you can. That's the one of the biggest keys. You can see on this picture how they have the lure sticking, straight out from the line. And granted, every lure is gonna, change buoyancy-wise, depending on what style lure you're using. But that's the biggest thing with a drop shot. So if you think about a drop shot vertically, right? So I typically use 10 to 12 inches between my weight and my hook. And the reason I do that is that when I'm fishing deep, mostly I'm fishing vertically, so that bait's gonna be 10 to 12 inches off the bottom, right? So, but you think about it, in most other cases, if you're making a cast, you make a long cast from here to the wall or whatever, so that line goes from facing vertically like this to angling at this point back to your rod. So what was at 10 or 12 inches might now be at 6 inches. Just the angle of how far the cast is changes the perception of the bait. So that's one thing to keep in mind when thinking about a drop shot and fishing it deep is, especially depending on what kind of structure you're at, what you're doing when you're making that long cast. And that's why I like to primarily, try to rely on my electronics and fish vertically. As I'm using my electronics to be my eyes, and instead of casting and necessarily feeling, I will run my boat in like a zigzagging pattern, back and forth in the area that I feel like is going to be most productive. And what I'm looking for is this. I'm looking for the fish. I'm not necessarily, I'll make short casts maybe from here to the wall. That's the farthest I would cast. Short little pitches, the whole time I want my bait in the water as much as possible, right? So do I really, in my mind, I'm not really planning on catching a lot of fish by making these short pitches. I'm staring at my electronics and I'm just kind of pitching and feeling as I go. And if I feel something that feels a little bit different, then I might, slow it down a little bit. But I'm basically letting that bait get to the bottom. I'm sitting there and I'll hop it a couple times. If nothing grabs it fairly quickly, I'll reel it in and then make another pitch. The whole time I'm looking for something, for the fish on my electronics. And when I see one, reel in real quick, drop straight over the side of the boat and attack them vertically. At that point, where the fish is. Your fish finder and your electronics show you that it's down there, and you just drop down there and catch it. It sounds easy, and it honestly it is once you get the hang of it. It just takes a little bit of time on the water.
I hope you enjoyed the preview clip. And for more like that and the entire collection, subscribe to the Bass University TV. And if you want the tackle that you see on there, I want you to go to the Bass University Tackle Shop, powered by Tackle Warehouse, and click right here, and it's all at your fingertips.
You want to become a better angler?
You want to catch more and bigger bass at your local pond?
Then check out Bass University TV for hardcore bass fishing information.
Hey, I'm Pete Gluzek.
And I'm Mike Iaconelli.
And this is Bass University TV.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests.
Everywhere I go in the country, I'm trying to use these techniques because I catch big fish that way.
From on the water to in the classroom,
We want to use that bait to help make that area even smaller and really find that sweet spot.
you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills.
You want something that's got a nice limber action, that's going to allow you to build pressure and keep those hooks pinned against that fish's mouth.
Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time.
Hold on, because you're going to catch some big fish.
Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best.
That's a key theory in all of fishing.
Subscribe to Bass University TV today.
Man, does it trigger a lot of strikes.
Here's the part that you're not going to hear anywhere else. This is the Bass University TV exclusive.